We're going to do some practice with inputs and outputs through tables, graphs, and equations. So let's consider the picture of the vending machine below. As you can see, there are three different rows of candies. So which candy bar in this vending machine is your favorite? So take a look and see which one is your favorite. Personally, my favorite is the Twix. Second question, what makes sense for an input for the vending machine? Well, an input is putting in your money. So again, if you input your money, then uh, output should be the candy. So what makes sense for an output for the vending machine? Getting candy. So we're going to go ahead and practice this. Letter A. If the input is 57, what is the output? Well, I'm going to look for number 57. Oh, number 57 is right here. That's a Kit Kat. So the output, so if you input 57, the output is going to be a Kit Kat. Letter B. If the input is 50, your output is going to be a Twix. Yum. Letter C. If the output is a Star bar, what is the input? Well, I need to find a Star bar. That's not really a candy that necessarily we see here, and by that I mean in the US, we're not very commonly inside of our vending machines. All right, so our Star bars going to be up here at number 47. So the input, you'd have to put in 47 to get out a Star bar. If the output is a toffee crisp, what is the input? So another not so common candy here, but a toffee crisp. Ooh, a toffee crisp is actually right next to the Star bar. And that's going to be number 48 for a toffee crisp. Letter E. What would be the input to get your favorite candy bar as the output? Well, my personal favorite candy bar out of these is Twix. So for that, I either need to input, hold on, the number 50, or I could also input the number 49. Both of them would wind up giving me the Twix bar. So 50 or 49. Now, there might only be one input for you to get your output. So a challenge. What is the input when the output is Snickers? Be careful. So the input when the output is Snickers. Well, let's first find the Snickers bar. Well, ooh, here's a Snickers bar right here. But there's also a Snickers bar right next to it. So far we're looking at number 42 and 43. Let's see, are there any other Snicker bars in here? I don't see any other Snicker bars. So if you were to input number 42 or 43, you would result with an output of a Snickers. Okay, inputs and outputs aren't only used in vending machines. Now we're going to look at the input and outputs of tables, graphs, and expressions. So in a table, graph, or an equation, the input is the x value and the output is the y value. So as we were learning yesterday, here's your inputs. Those are my x's. and my output are my y's. So let's consider the table above to answer these questions. If the input is 0, what is the output? Input is 0. Okay, 0. Ooh, output's going to be 1. If it helps, you can also identify number 1 is the pink. If the input is 5, the output is 17. So again, remember, inputs are your X, outputs are your Y. Input is X, output is Y. For number 3, if the output is -4, what is the input? Well, this one's asking for a different part. It wants you this time to solve for the X. It's telling you what the Y is. It's saying that Y is -4. So I need to find my -4 for Y. Oh, that corresponds to my -1 for X. So if the output is 1, my Y value, what is the input? What is my X? Output is 1. Well, that means my Y value, oops. Oh, my 1's down at the bottom. So that means that 7 is going to be my input. So let's consider the graph at the right to answer the next set of questions. Use the input-output lines. So input are your X values. Output are your Y values. So if the input is -2, so the X value is -2, what is the Y value? So if we're talking about -2, I'm going to go start at 0. I'm going to go to the left -2. Ooh, here's my corresponding point right there. So this is at -2, -1. So that means my output value is a -1. So for the next problem, if the input is 1, what is the output? So as a reminder, input is X, output is Y. We know the ordered pair is going to be 1 comma something. So I'm going to the right one, I'm going up. And the reason why I'm going up is I need to find the point that hits on my blue line, which happens to be 5 for my output. So my output is 5. For number 7, if the output is -3, ooh, if my Y value is -3, what's the input? Well, it's going to be something -3. So this time, instead of starting at the origin and going left 3, I'm actually going to start at the origin and go down 3. Then it corresponds, ooh, let me change my color. Corresponds to this point right here, -3, -3. So what's the input? -3. Number 8, if the output is 3, so it's saying Y is 3, what is the input? So what's my X? So it's something comma 3. And I should have highlighted this -3 to correspond. Let's go with red. So this 3, I am going to start at my origin and I'm going to go up 3. And oh, look right there. That happens to be at 0. So if you have an output of 3, the input is 0. So that means my X value is 0, my Y value is 3. Fabulous. So let's work on the next set of problems. Consider the equation at the right to answer these questions. Show your work. So number 9, if the input is 3, what is the output? So I'm actually going to zoom in on this. So I'm going to take the equation y equals 2x minus 3. And it's saying the input the x is 3. So I need to find the output. Well, if I know that x is 3, I'm going to take this 3 and I'm going to plug it in for that x down there. So that becomes y equals 2 times 3 minus 3. So y equals 6 minus 3. That leaves me with y equals 3. So what is the output? 3. Number 10. If the input is -2, what is the output? So this is saying x is -2. I'm still using the same equation, y equals 2x minus 3. Now, in case anyone had missed this, the equation that I'm using is this one right here. So when it said in the directions, consider the equation at the right to answer these questions. Again, y equals 2x minus 3 is what I'm using for all of them. So going back here, I'm going to plug in, hold on, -2 in for x into my equation. I'm substituting it in. Y equals 2 times -2 minus 3. Y equals 2 times -2 is 4 minus 3. Y equals -7. You could have also added and made it into a -3. Still would have gotten the answer of -7. All right, number 11. If the number 11. If the output is 9, what is the input? If the output is 9, output, that means my y value. What is the input? Well, this time I know my y value, not my x. Y equals 2x minus 3. Well, I'm going to substitute my 9 in for my y. So 9 equals 2x minus 3. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. I get 12 equals 2x, divide both sides by 2. I get x equals 6. So my input is 6. Number 12, if the output is -11, what is the input? Well, output equals -11, so y equals -11. Taking my equation, y equals 2x minus 3. Now I'm going to plug in that -11 in for my y value right here. So -11 equals 2x plus 3. Extending my equal sign, I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. -14 equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2. -7 equals x. Okay.